the boy picked up a mysterious giant egg. He took out a knife and peeled the eggshell open. It's a colorful thing inside. The boy suddenly fell into a daze. What the hell is this? He continued to peel the eggshells open. I haven't had time to unravel my doubts yet. The boy's mother's calling him. Hans. This colored egg has been shelved. After the boy left, the colored eggs are starting to move. At night, the boy heard a few strange calls. He just remembered his eggs. He saw that the egg had already broken. Something must have come out. I saw something break the skin again. He mustered the courage to find. Seeing a strange-looking little guy, he reached out to touch it. Almost this person. The boy speculated that he might be hungry, so I brought a potato and cut it into thin slices. Feed. He sure did eat well, little guy, but gradually let down their guard. When the boy tried to touch him again, the little guy actually looks like he's enjoying himself. Since then, the boy keeps him as a pet, and gave him a cute name. Aha, the vegetable leaf bucket he moved into his house. For just a moment, I ate all the bucket in Urha. The boy was a bit surprised. Such a small thing. Where did he eat? He touched Urha's body, but I found it very dry on top. He poured a lot of water into the bucket. Urha. I swam happily inside. This day, the boy just came downstairs. But suddenly there was a cry of surprise from upstairs. He hurried up to take a look. It was my sister, who discovered that she discovered it. The boy explained to his sister, this is his pet. My gentle sister is no longer afraid, and keep him a secret. Subsequently, the third person knew this secret. Dasan is knocking outside the door. He's here to fix the bathroom. The siblings covered the little monster's mouth. But after all, this cannot be hidden. Still discovered by the big mountain. The boy explained to Dasan again. He's very cute. Originally, Dasan had heard a legend. He said this is a faucet. It is hermaphroditic. Will die after laying eggs. At this point, the boy's mother's calling him. The boy asked the mountain to protect him. Don't let mom know. Dasan also agreed, but he suggested putting Urha back in Loch Ness. Because it won't be long. Urha will grow bigger than a ship. There's no way my family can support it at all. But the boy didn't agree. But that night, there was an accident in Urha. Urha suddenly smelled the taste of delicious food. Turned one's head. A pool of goldfish. Suddenly, his saliva flowed down, then jumping with a plop, crazy gnawing on it. The next day, when Dasan discovered him, instantly stunned. Growing up dozens of times overnight, this body type definitely can't be kept at home anymore, so he took the boy and pulled Urha to the lake. Dasan. Pull him hard and cough for 2 times. But I don't want to leave anyway. His eyes have been fixed on the direction of his master. Finally, the man took out his favorite potato, and threw it into the distance. In the distance of Urha. His head was exposed and he roared in a low voice, in the direction of a single charge. At this point, the man threw out the potato again. The boy ran back while he was looking back. A few days later, 2 elderly people came to this water area to fish. They seemed to have caught a giant creature. The man lay down and looked into the water. He's scared out of his wits. How to go up? Subsequently, the small boat began to move rapidly on the water surface. Finally, break the wire. The ship was able to stop. Suddenly, Urha jumped out of the water. The 2 of them think they have discovered a secret that can make a fortune. But the following days, the boy is absent-minded about everything he does. He misses Urha too much. So he secretly ran to the lake to find Urha. He shouted for a long time on the shore. Here Urha never appeared. The boy is a bit flustered. He rowed his boat again to the center of the lake. His shouts resounded throughout Loch Ness. Suddenly, a huge object appears behind me. It's Urha. At this point, he had already found a few tens of meters high and reached the little master's side. Easily leaned his head over. Then he threw it hard. Throw the boy onto his back. He took the boy to play surfing in the water. He grabbed Urha's back. I saw something at the bottom of the lake. Not long after, he sent the boy back to the shore. Subsequently, an officer also saw this scene. The next day, the officer brought the boy's family to the lake. Invite them to watch military exercises. He prepared several cannons. Then aim a few guns into the lake. Just hit Urha's side. Urha was knocked down by the earthquake. He ran away in panic. The boy wants to stop them from firing. He was sent back by the commander. Suddenly, the soldier who saw Urha told the officer, there are water monsters in the lake. So the officer planned to capture him alive. The boy on the other side also went to the lake to search for Urha. Suddenly, Urha suddenly appeared. He was about to launch an attack on the 2 with his mouth wide open. And then that day, the team's attack put him under attack. The boy reached out his hand. I want him to relax. Urha. I also closed my eyes. Here. There was a sudden thunder in the sky. Aha! The shells of that day rang out again. He stepped back, disappearing in the water. After the boy and the mountain left, the dog discovered Urha. He smelled the smell of Urha. Urha swam towards him. He stretched out his long neck. This dog received a boxed lunch on the spot. A palm high Urha jumped out of the water. The soldiers on the ship immediately swept him with machine guns, and the water monster roared a few times. Turn around and run away. They continued shooting. This seems to have angered him. He turned around and began to counterattack the water monster swimming underwater. Find that ship accurately. Then an impact overturned the ship's roof. Then he took a bite. The officer flaunted wildly in the air. At this point, the boy who came upon hearing the news quickly stepped forward to stop him. But suddenly his feet slipped, sank to the bottom of the lake. Immediately regained his sanity upon seeing the situation. He threw the officer away, and then quickly dived into the bottom of the lake, pick up the boy, put him on the shore, gently touching the boy's hand. Fortunately, the boy woke up quickly. At this moment, the boy's mother also arrived. Seeing this scene, he was completely shocked. He couldn't imagine his son raising such a creature. Suddenly, a shell exploded. The boy ran forward, jumped onto Erha's body. The shore artillery kept pounding into the water, command him to avoid the attack of the shells. Several times, the shells passed by, the boys taking him swimming towards the sea, and the military intercepted an iron fence on the road. The huge king stood in front of him like a chasm. He was stopped on his way to the sea. The boy asked Erha to escape on his own, encourage him to go to the ocean. Then he was pulled onto the boat by the big mountain. The water monster began to unleash its own great moves. He swam towards the iron net at a speed of 120 kilometers per hour, and then plunged into the bottom of the water. Flew out of the water again. He couldn't cross the iron fence in the air, but rather pressed against the iron mesh. For a moment, the iron mesh was directly pressed into the water. He also successfully ran away, swim towards the ocean. Since then, the boy has never seen to again. But many years later, a strange egg appeared by the seaside. Discovered by a little boy, he decided to take this egg home.